aka Freddy Krueger, the guy who actually gave me my first nightmare. So
Well, it appears that way.
yeah,
It looks like the chest of souls got you, dude.
it was very scary. Like he stole my food from me.
Oh my God, was that your nightmare?
It actually was. Like I went into the kitchen. You were there cooking burnt toast and had Mum's head chopped off.
Oh, burnt toast is, that's so amazing because there's an olfactory, a smell thing. So somebody really might have burnt some toast while you were asleep, and you smelled it and it entered your nightmare, because I know it's a real strong comfort food memory, toast. I saw Sam Shepard play once with Ed Harris, and there was a bunch of toast on it, and Sam Shepard wanted the audience to smell the toast because it makes you remember your childhood and the comfort food smell of toast.
Just on, have you ever had a nightmare of yourself?
Of myself?
As in Freddy Krueger?
No, the only time, and this is not a fresh story, but I'll tell it.
Okay, that's fine.
When I did the first one, I was asleep in the makeup in my honey wagon, my little tiny dressing room. I didn't have a star wagon then. And I had rolled up a towel very tightly, like a Japanese pillow, because I had the makeup on and I didn't want to smear the makeup. And I was taking a nap, and we were shooting mostly nights, as opposed to the normal worry in Hollywood about losing the light. We were worried about losing the night. We're trying to get all this stuff done. And about 4:30 or 5 in the morning, what they call the hour of the wolf, before the sun comes up, there was a knock, knock, knock on my dressing room door, and the assistant director said, "Mr. Engel, we're going to try to get this shot with Heather Langenkamp, where you're chasing her down." And I sat up, and I looked for a second. I was kind of asleep. I had that stale breath that one gets from sleeping, morning mouth. And I looked into the mirror opposite me, and it was just slightly illuminated by dimmer bulbs around the makeup mirror. And in the mirror, in the perspective of the glass, I saw this old bald man looking back at me. It scared the shit out of me. And I jumped, and my heart stopped, and then I realized, because I was only half awake, that was me in the makeup. Because this is the first movie, you must remember that. And I forgot that I was in the Freddy makeup. So occasionally, for about 6 or 7 years after that, I had a nightmare about that moment. That's gone away now. And I tell the story, and it's in my book, which is why it's not fresh, but that's a true story, and that's my Freddy nightmare of Freddy.
I'm here with Ken Sakos of Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4, who play Roland.
Kincaid.
Kincaid. Roland Kincaid.
Yeah. Nobody know me as Roland.
I do. But Roland Kincaid, if anyone doesn't know.
Okay, because I didn't know it.
No, it's bad when the star doesn't know.
Hey, I knew what to check.
So you're one of the few survivors of the Nightmare on Elm Street, surviving number 3.
Yeah.
Unfortunately died in number 4, which actually made me upset.
But I have to say that I am the first African American to survive a major horror film and return to a sequel.
And how did that?
How did it feel?
Yep. How did it feel?
It felt good. I got another paycheck coming.
In the dream world, you had super strength.
Yeah.
What would be your dream power to have? In that, I would have thought how to kill Freddy, but it would have been a very quick movie that way.
I think it would have been, to have strength, because I think one of the things that made Kincaid so, it migrated to him so much was because he didn't have no crazy dreams, like everybody. Some had magic, some had other things, but his was strength, something that could be real, that could actually
realistic.
happen. Yeah, realistically.
So that's what you would want, like pure strength. What was your favorite scene to film in it?
In 3, I think my favorite scene in 3 was the scene where we was like fighting Freddy in Freddy's hell. In Nightmare 4, it was the junkyard scene. That was it took us a week to film that scene, and it was just me and Robert. And it was kind of emotional, as well because I knew that was my last time on the set. And Robert was such a big brother to everybody.
Alright, I'm here with
Gore effect.
so you've made all this yourself, hands?
Yes, everything's sculpted in clay and then cast in liquid latex.
What's your inspiration? Just lover of horror?
Love me horror movies. Always loved me horror movies. Thought I'd give it a try. Discovered I had a bit of a talent for it, so the way I went.
Favourite horror movie?
Definitely me Friday the 13th. All the series.
How long did it take you to each make each different thing? Like point, how long?
Once you finish the sculpting's the hard part. Then once you cast it, you can cast the latex and paint it probably a day and a half.
Day and a half. I'm here with Richard. Darren. How long have you been into Nightmare on Elm Street?
Kids, probably like first grade prep or grade 1. Our cousins got us into it, and we've been hooked ever since.
Can you remember first watching?
Yeah, and I was petrified. Yeah. Yes.
And yet you came back to it.
Yes. And our mother warned us, saying, "Be careful because when you see this man, he's gonna have a very ugly face." And so we're like prepped up for that. But yeah.
Didn't know how deep it was going to go.
Exactly. Yes.
So have you met him yet?
Not yet. But I went to just how much of a fan I am. I went to Los Angeles last year. I actually tracked down the actual house, and I got my photo taken in front of the Freddy house.
1420.
So I want Robert to sign that for me. Yeah, in front of his or Nancy's house. So
Yeah. All right, I'm here with
Jessica.
Jessica. How long have you been into Nightmare on Elm Street?
Into Nightmare on Elm Street probably since I was about 5 years old. My uncle was like a big horror fan and got me into it at a really young age. So, yeah. He would actually, for me and my cousin, record them and get rid of the really gory stuff so we were allowed to watch it at such a
I
young
just looked at
age.
the uncle like, you're 5 years old, what can I do? Here's Nightmare.
Freddy Krueger, yeah.
Did he put it on right before he went to bed too? Of, have sweet dreams.
No, but I did actually dream about Freddy afterwards. So,
Yeah?
yeah.
Well, can you remember what that dream was?
He beat me with a chair.
He beat you with a chair till you were dead.
Yeah.
All right, I'm here with
Sam.
Sam. How long have you been a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street?
Well, it was actually, the original was the first horror movie I ever saw. I probably would have been about 9 or 10, so that's 13 years. And like just the scene when he's like, he's chasing Heather Lang and Nancy up the stairs.
Yeah, and it's sinking in.
Scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I had nightmares for ages.
All right, I'm here with
Jeff
Jeff. What store do you own? Like, what's your
from
store?
Go Figure Collectibles in North Coburg in Melbourne.
So, what's your favourite one? Like,
Here, by
yeah.
far, this glove. This is my personal glove. This is actually a movie replica from the 1984 Elm Street movie. Now, this glove is pretty much the same as like all the other gloves that we're selling here. However, the only difference is Robert England himself actually wore this glove to take all the photos with all the guests and with all the people getting photos with him. So this glove was actually worn by Freddy himself.
Welcome to prime time, biatch.